Hi guys, I am back. I know it's been a while, but you know what work's like, and no time to do stuff. But anyway, I thought I'd sit down and have a little chatty video with you all today. I'm just chilling on my bed, put some cute little lights in the background because why not? It's a rainy day and I thought it's a great time to have a serious chat. And it's not like a serious, like we need to sit down and talk, but it's just something that I feel like I have been thinking about a lot because it's all over like social media and that kind of stuff. Or it's not even like a big topic at the moment, it's just become like when you know what to look for, you kind of start to see it a little bit more, and you see like the different arguments and different people's perspectives and that kind of thing. So that topic is depression, and it's kind of like there's two main types of depression, or two, not types, there's loads of different types, but two main ways that people cope with it, and each side sort of doesn't understand the other side. So I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there right at the start because I know this is a very sensitive topic to a lot of people and touchy. I will say that I do have it myself, so I'm not just judging willy-nilly without like having experience and that kind of thing. And also as well, I just want to say that these are my opinions. They're not necessarily fact. On an opinion-based thing, you can't have facts. You can only have facts of the actual condition, which I will address slightly just to try and get my point across. So I'm sorry if this is going to be a rambling long video. I technically should have written dot points or notes on different sections that I'm going to speak about, but I kind of just want to try and say it because, yeah, I know I'm going to miss loads and I'm not going to get it across correctly how I exactly want it to, but I'm just going to give it a go because it kind of needs to be explained. And I'm out of breath already. When I get serious, I get out of breath. So the points that I want to talk about are, there's a lot of people out there recently, some of my friends I know, or not some, but like people that I have on social media, and they post like pictures or quotes or stuff like that, just little comments about having depression. In a way that I guess, and I know I shouldn't say this, people are going to attack me, but it's to get attention, and what I'm trying to say is that I'm not one of those people that says they don't have it and they're just getting attention for it, but I just want to explain the difference between depression as like a hormonal imbalance type, something that you gain, or it's not really a gain, I mean something that you develop over time because of either an event like post-traumatic stress or that kind of thing, it just hormones in your teenage years. That happens to a lot of teenagers. So just at some stage in your life where you develop it and you haven't had it, you've had a perfectly normal functioning brain and mind throughout your whole life, and then you hit a certain point and you get it. And now these are the people who, generally speaking, post about it because they've suddenly got it and they don't know what to do, and they think, what's happening to me? They've been normal, so they know the perspective from a normally thinking brain, and they post about it because they want to get help, they get comfort in people telling them that they're going to be okay and that they're loved and cared about and all that kind of stuff. So their way of coping with it is telling people, because they think that by hearing all that stuff, and this is often true, by being reassured and that kind of thing, they'll get through it, they'll pass it, because once you've gained it, it is possible to get rid of it. And that's the other side I want to talk about. So you've got the gaining it over your life, and then you've got being born with it. Sorry, you can't see my hands, but I am doing gestures. So the being born with it side of thing is your brain is genetically engineered to have this chemical imbalance in your head, and it's not something that you've just gained like a mishap in your brain like this one, suddenly your brain stops doing certain things because of an event or because of hormones and that kind of thing. This side is where you've actually been born with a brain whose the DNA and genetic makeup of it is not fully functioning properly. And that's not to say it's not normal or it's weird or it's messed up. But just being born with it, it's just genetically modified in your head. You can't change it, because that's like saying, oh, well, I want my eyes to start developing to be like dark brown. You can't change it. It's just something that's in your genetic coding, and that's just how it is. So whilst medication, and this is, I've been born with it, so I don't post about it, and generally people like that, they don't post about it because they're used to it, they don't know any different, they know that attention and people saying, you're okay, blah, blah, they know it's not going to help, because this is touchy as well, because I don't want to sound like a complete downer and like, you're not going to get better. But the fact of the matter is, you're not. You can do stuff to sort of help yourself, but being born with it, that's just who you are, and you've just got to learn to accept it and sort of work your life around it so that you can be the best that you can with it. So you will never get rid of it. You're never going to wake up one day through any amount of attention or medication or anything like that. You're never going to wake up and be like, oh, it's gone. I'm completely fine and it's never going to come back. So they know that posting about it isn't going to help because they're used to it. And not to mention, it's not something that's shocked them. So they're used to it. They don't even think it's something that they need to post about, because they just, you don't have social media when you're like 5 years old, so you've never posted about it back then. It's just one of those things, But I don't know, I'm kind of rambling and I'm not getting what I want across, but point is, there's a depression you gain and there's a depression you're born with. This one you can overcome. You can. Not necessarily saying that everyone will or everyone won't, it's just something that you have the option to try and better yourself. This one, you can ease it, you can sort of make it a little more easy to handle, but you can never actually completely get rid of it. No amount of medication. I talk from experience. I have tried them all. I've tried every type of cure or assistance or blah blah blah, everything. Nothing works. There are some things that alleviate the pain a little bit, or the thinking in your mind and that kind of thing, but you can never get rid of it. So these people, I just want to say that, I thought it myself that, they're attention seeking, but then I stopped and thought, and I realized that they're not. That's just how they handle it, because it's really shitty, honestly, and that's how they want to try and make themselves get better. And if it works for them, then that's fantastic, and then they can get better, and that's great for everyone. So there's no attention seeking, that's just who they are. But in saying that, everyone deals with it differently, and there are people that don't want to post about it. So what I am trying to get across, I guess, is that just because you don't post about it, or talk about it, or tell anyone about it, you just internalize it and deal with it yourself and cope with it and just accept it and move on. That doesn't mean you don't have it. It just means that you don't need to publicize it, I guess. But on the other hand, people who do post about it and openly tell people that they feel like shit, basically, that doesn't mean they're attention seeking. It's just their way of dealing with it. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of stuff that I would like to say, but that's the basis of it, and it's with any condition, any mental condition, trichotillomania, anxiety, whatever, there's a load of them. There is a bunch of them, dermatillomania, and it's the same, it's just there's two sides to it. Some can develop from something and can get rid of it, some are born with it, and they are in no way the same thing. And that's what I'm trying to say, is you have this broad topic of mental illnesses or specific mental illnesses, and just because someone has depression and someone else has depression does not mean they have the same thing. And that's what people need to realise, because there's a lot of arguments and judgment and that kind of thing going on based around it behind people's backs, and they're just getting attention, or she doesn't have it, or he doesn't have it, or blah blah blah. So yeah, I just want everyone to realise that it's so much more complicated than just the term depression or anxiety or whatever. It's the same as having, for instance, diabetes or cancer. you don't just have cancer. You can have bowel cancer, you can have breast cancer, you can have brain cancer, you can have lung cancer. There is a million different types. Same with diabetes, you know, type A, type B. I'm not that knowledgeable in that, so I can't talk about it, but it's such a vast illness, and it's just, I'm just kind of trying to get awareness out about it, I guess. I just want some people to, also, this is another thing I just remembered to talk about, but if you haven't had it yourself, you can't really understand it, and people who do have it and have someone they love or care about not understand it, they need to realize that it's not them being rude, it's not them being ignorant, it's not them being, you know, purposely not understanding. It's just that they can't, because you can't expect someone to know what having cancer feels like when they've never had it, or to know what asthma feels like if you've never had it, you know. It's just one of those things that you only know if you've had it, and you just have to accept the fact that they will care about you and they will be there for you, but they're not going to understand what it's like to go through and that kind of stuff. But them just being there for you is good enough. So I think that's all. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. This is probably going to be a really shitty video, and am I being out of focus the whole time? Oh god, I hope not. Okay, no, I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know, it's been playing on my mind, and I don't know if you guys ever sit there sometimes. How long has this been filming for? Oh, it's not that long. I don't think I'm going to edit this. I think I'm just going to do it one big take and plop it up on the internet. But I forgot what I was going to say, so maybe I am going to have to edit this bit out. God, my brain is not working today. Oh yeah, serious chats, you know, it's just been on my mind, and if you ever have those times where you start having like you envisage yourself and imagine yourself talking to someone about something, and in your brain you get like, when you're not talking, you're just thinking about it, you seem to get like perfect points out, and you're just like, yes, if I can just say that to my camera right now, I would get the perfect point across, I would say everything that I need to say. And then you sit down and you're like, hey, what's up? You know, it's like, but yeah, I think I've got enough across. I know it's going to be, I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to be like, what were you saying? You did not get your point across at all. But I think it's enough for people to kind of get where you're coming from and understand it a little bit more. And I hope it helps a lot of people. I hope that someone who maybe has a friend or a family member with either one of these, and they think, you know, attention seeking or not having it or blah blah blah, they kind of realise a little bit more, and they can understand it and know how to help someone. So yeah, if you have someone that thinks certain things, show them this video maybe, and they'll sort of get a better understanding of it maybe. And I will see you in my next video, hopefully for something, probably like a makeup tutorial. Might do like a spring makeup tutorial. We'll see. But thanks for watching. I hope it didn't bore you too much. I know this isn't for everyone, and I know it's not normally like my type of video, but oh god, I'm a hunchback. What am I doing? Posture. But yeah, I hope it was okay. This is the most rambly outro ever, the most rambly intro and body ever. But anyway, I will see you in my next video. Please give the video a thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts. I like a bit of contribution from the other members of the society. And subscribe if you haven't already. I don't think I said that. And I will, yes, see you in my next video. Bye!